don't small talk unless you're really amusing. You know, usually
The
people
best
want...
thing is to come in and be awesome. And,
Yeah.
and you know, so yeah, I think, I wouldn't say don't small talk, but be awesome
But also feel the room, because, you know, a lot of times you really kind of want to get a sense of who the person is, because they're going to be there all week. So if they, you know, if the people on the other side of the desk, who, by the way, are desperate for you to be good. So when you go in there and you think, oh my God, there's all these people sitting there, all they want is to think, oh, that person was great. This part's going to work. We can cast this, and we're not terrible writers. That's kind of what's going on in our head. So, you know, you can say hi, and, you know, if you have a question, ask the question. I mean, a lot of people come in and say, is there anything you want to tell me? And usually the answer is, no, let's see what you do, and then we'll tell you after that. Something that
You know what? If small talk makes you feel more comfortable, then I would say it's not a crime. But the reason we're all here is so you can be awesome. So go on, do it.
Do it already.
Yeah.
Something that I think is, I don't know if this kind of related to the question, you know, on your resume, sometimes, like, if someone does a good audition and I'm interested in the person and I feel like I want to talk to them a little bit about something just to get a feel for them, you know, in the special abilities part, I always look down. Usually I look down to see who you've worked with. So if it's a friend of mine, I can say, oh, you worked with, you know, so-and-so, you know, blah, blah, blah. Or a special ability that you can talk about, so that there's something on your resume that if the people do want to talk to you about something, it can be something besides the weather. People come into an audition and they'll do the scene, and you'll literally think, I have to rewrite this entire thing. And then the next person will come in and they'll say all the same words, and they're not like, you know, doing shtick, they're just funny. And they say all the same things, and you just think, oh, great, I don't need to touch the scene, it's great. So you know, and the next audition, the two people could flip, and which is the one that's funny and which is the one that isn't funny, just because of your sort of take on how you're approaching that character. You're extremely involved. You know, one of the things that we learned in our career that we're very fortunate with Fran that she's, you know, also a writer. She's very bright. She's very funny, but she definitely wanted. I think that all stars of shows they don't want to just like get the script Monday and you know, there are very few stars of sitcoms that you say to them, just say what we wrote, and that they're going to go, okay. Fran was very collaborative. Fran and I laid out pretty much the outline for every story on The Nanny for the whole run of The Nanny. One day a week, we just met at her house and laid the stories out. And it was really helpful because, you know, you can tell a story in several different ways. And
It's very wise to tell the story the way the star wants to tell the story.
You always say it's easier to ride a horse in the direction it's going. So if the star would like, if the story makes sense, and it's the way the star feels comfortable, you know, telling the story, that's the way that you should tell the story. And, you know, you get the relationship you ultimately end up with having with your star. Hopefully, one of the reasons that Nanny also worked out so well is we all are still friends. We were friends then. And, you know, sort of one of my favorite stories to answer that question is, all right, so we had a scene. I mean, I guess the terror of being a showrunner is that you're going to have a huge moment in front of the audience, and it's going to land flat, and the star is going to go, can you come here for a second? And you know that now in front of the audience, you have to think of how to fix this, and you have to do it kind of immediately. So we had a show, which is one of my favorite episodes of The Nanny, where we set up some ridiculous, you know, way to get Fran to be a candy striper in the hospital. Maxwell had an appendicitis attack, and she had to shave him for surgery. The episode was called Close Shave. And she realized that she had to shave his, kind of like, say, pubic hair on the virtual channel network. And so then, I guess the line was shave him, the doctor said shave him for surgery, and the line was shave him where? Ooh, and then then it said Fran reacts. So we get to the scene, right before the scene, they're setting it up, and Fran goes to me, can I talk to you for a second? So I go out there, and I said, what's wrong? She said, well, you know, I'm a little worried about this right here. Don't you think I need a joke here? So I said, no, I don't. And my heart's pounding. And she said, well, it says Fran react. So I said, well, yeah, you're going to react. You're going to be hilarious. So she said, what exactly do you think I'm going to do? So I said, Fran, I don't know what you're going to do, but I know that you are going to be hilarious in this moment. You don't need a written joke. This is going to be hilarious. So she said, and I thought, now I can go hide behind the bleachers. So she said, well, you better be right. So it turned out to be, her reaction was hilarious. We got a 3-minute laugh spread on that joke, which is the longest laugh spread I've ever had in my career, which of course the network made us cut to 5 seconds because they wouldn't let us play a laugh that long. But it was terrifying, but yet I knew enough to have the nerve to say to her, no, I'm right, don't worry about it, that she was going to be great in that moment, because you get to have the relationship with your star where you know what it is that they do.